My Crohn's Journey by Aubrey Brown. What's Crohn's disease? Please take a moment to think about if you ever heard of the disease or know anyone with the disease. The medical definition is a chronic inflammatory disease of the intestines, especially the colon. Before I was diagnosed, however, I had a little bit of background with Crohn's due to my sister's diagnosis in 2008. Her name is Skylar and she's now 21. She has a different treatment than I do. She gets Remicade infusions through an IV every 6 weeks at an infusion center or at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. She's also been a great mentor and friend and support system while I have been dealing with my diagnosis and accepting my reality. My symptoms started back in January of 2015. I had weight loss. I probably lost 20 pounds within 2 weeks. I had blood in my stool. I threw up anything that I ate. And that's when I had an appointment with a gastroenterologist. He wanted me to get an endoscopy and a colonoscopy. They ended up finding ulcers in the lining of my rectum. That's when they determined on February 25th of 2015 that I have Crohn's disease. I knew there was going to be obstacles, physical, mental, and just with people with my disease. I didn't know, however, how difficult my school was going to be. I went to a public high school, and in the beginning, it was pretty hard for them to understand the accommodations that I needed. So I got a 504 plan. You might have heard of a 504 plan before, or maybe you haven't. But if you haven't, the definition is a federal law that protects students with disabilities from being discriminated against at school. It requires the school to give your child the same opportunities as students without disabilities who go to school. Basically, if I missed a test day, I was not required or couldn't be forced to take the test the very next day because it's not like I was playing hooky on the days that I wasn't at school. I was taking the day to either visit doctors or just take time to get my health back in check. In September of 2015, I was admitted into the hospital the week of my 18th birthday. I had the same symptoms I had back in January, but even worse. They decided that the plan they made for me to only drink certain things and eat certain things was not going to keep my symptoms in remission. That is when they decided to start me on a medicine known as Humira. There's plenty of commercials on TV that advertise Humira, but my definition and experience with it is good and bad. I take the injection through my legs or my abdominal area biweekly every Friday. And it does good things and it does bad things. It keeps a lot of my symptoms in remission, but it also has knocked out my immune system, which allows a lot of negative things to happen to me, such as if I pick a pimple, it will get infected. If someone has a cold and they sneeze around me, I'm probably going to have a cold the next day. But it also has kept my Crohn's specific symptoms in check, which I could not be more thankful for. Now we're going to take a note check. So please just review your notes, maybe compare with a neighbor, see what information they have taken from the presentation so far. In June of 2015, I got a tattoo on my left foot. It says "For now" in my mom's handwriting in a purple ribbon. For now means so much to me. Basically, it means hope in disguise. It means that on the bad days when I think, why do I have this? It's awful. I don't know how long I can deal with it. I know that any pain that Crohn's has inflicted on me, it's all temporary. It's just for now. And the purple ribbon is a symbol of Crohn's disease and the fight against it because sadly there is no cure yet and there might never be a cure. So, where am I today? I'm attending Cal U and majoring in journalism. I couldn't be happier where I am health wise. I haven't had a flare up since that September. And yeah, I still have bad days and bad weeks, but not to the extremes of the flare ups. If you know anyone with Crohn's disease, please take a minute to think about what you say to them. I've had a lot of people just say, "Oh, yeah, I have IBS." There's a difference between IBS and IBD. Crohn's disease is considered IBD. A lot of people have IBS, but not as many have IBD. There is a huge difference between the two of them, and please try not to confuse them or compare the two on an equal playing field. Here are my sources, but a lot of the pictures were taken by me listed below. But with my journey with Crohn's disease, I know that I'll be okay and that everything I do and I take is just what you have to do.